Good morning, students. Welcome to Alternative English class. So in the last class we discussed some of the topics of figures of speech, and I hope it's clear to you all. If you have any doubt, any query, any difficulty in the explanation part, you please message me in the WhatsApp group that we created for English, and your doubts will be cleared out there. Alright, you please message, give only the feedbacks there. Don't chat with among yourself in the group. If you feel like chatting with your friends, you create another group. Alright, don't include the teachers, you create another group of your own and you chat there with your friends. Alright, this group, it's particularly for getting the feedbacks. If you have any doubt, if you have any query regarding the topics, so for that purpose only this group is created. Alright, so please don't get me wrong here. If you want to chat with your friends, you please create other group, some other group. You join all your friends there and you chat there. Alright, so for today I would like to discuss about William Wordsworth. Day before yesterday's class we discussed about William Wordsworth, and since many of the students did not able to attend the class, so I would like to go through it once more. So if you have your book, you please take out page number 4 and see at the end small box is there where information about the poet is given. Alright, so William Wordsworth, we did discuss that he is regarded as one of the romantic poets and he belonged to the period Romanticism. Okay, now what do you mean by a romantic poet? Romantic poet basically refers to a poet who is a nature lover, who loves nature, who romanticizes nature in most of his writings and poems and all. Okay, so don't get confused or wrong with that lover. Okay, romantic, being romantic means having affair or like that. No, it's not. Okay, it's not having, yeah, you can say it's having an affair but with nature. It's a close relation, close connection with nature. So in that way you can say that it's romantic. So William Wordsworth, he was born in the year 1770 and died in 1850. One of the most accomplished and influential of England's romantic poets. See, here also it refers as romantic poet. So he was considered to be one of the most influential, most famous romantic poets. He had written many romantic poems which romanticizes nature. William Wordsworth's theories and style created a new tradition in poetry. The way he used to convey the lines, the way he used to write the lines, the poetic lines, that created tradition in the part of poetry. Okay, he has got certain kind of style while delivering his expression through language. Lyrical Ballads, that was published in 1798, written with Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Now this poet, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, also considered to be one of the famous romantic poets. So what did William Wordsworth do? He did a collaboration with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and together they took out Lyrical Ballad. Okay, now you must be knowing what a ballad is. Ballad is basically a song which narrates a story. Okay, it is a song, but in that song it has got some kind of story. So it conveys a story by lyrical song. Poetry, he asserted, originates from emotions recollected in tranquility. Now William Wordsworth in Lyrical Ballads gives a description about poetry. Now if question comes that what according to William Wordsworth is poetry, then what will be the answer? It is emotions recollected in tranquility. Poetry is emotions recollected in tranquility. Now first let's get into this line. Now what do you mean by tranquility? Tranquility basically is a very calm and peaceful environment. obviously, in order to write poem, so how does poem come out? From the mind of, is it from the mind of the poet, or is it from the heart of the poet? So it's basically a combination of the both. How? Because in order to make a poem and make it a written form, you need to think first. Alright? And how does thinking come? It comes from the emotions and feelings. What you feel is ingrained in the mind, and through that mind, which gives the signal to your hand, and poetry evolves. Alright? So in order to think and in order to feel, you need to have a peaceful environment first. So that is what it refers to, tranquility. You need a peaceful environment where a person can feel and emotions, he can feel the emotions on the topic, based on the topic that he is supposed to write on. So poetry originates from emotions recollected in tranquility. Emotions, feelings that are recollected in a peaceful environment. So that emotion that comes out in written form, and that creates poetry. So that is the definition that William Wordsworth gave for poetry. Alright, so don't forget this. If you have pen or pencil, please underline this line. Poetry, he asserted, originates from emotions recollected in tranquility. So what does poetry mean according to William Wordsworth? If question comes like that, you have to write this answer, that according to William Wordsworth, poetry is referred to as emotions recollected in tranquility. Next, see. Wordsworth had a keen love for nature. As I already mentioned, he was a nature lover. Alright, he had a keen love, deep love for nature, for which he wrote, very important line again, nature never did betray the heart that loved her. So beautiful line, so beautiful line. See, nature can never betray human beings. Nature can never betray us. Perhaps it is we that day by day we kept on destroying the nature. Isn't it so? Don't you think so? Nature is so kind to us. Nature had never given us any kind of difficulty or challenge in our life. In fact, it has been bestowing us with all the facilities that we need to survive in this world. Okay? So nature never did betray us, but it is we. Now this line is added by me. Alright? This line is not added here. It is we who betrayed the nature. But nature never betrayed us. He became poet laureate in 1843, and his poetic autobiography. Now this thing, autobiography, I mentioned it in general English class also. It's basically a piece of writing which narrates about a person's own past personal experiences. That's why it is called autobiography. Auto means self. So it is about own. It is about self. So he became poet laureate in 1843, and his poetic autobiography, The Prelude, was published in 1850. So these years that here, it is mentioned, you please remember these years. Okay, if question comes in 1 mark, you need to write these year. You need to remember this. Alright. Now, what do you mean by poet laureate? Here it says William Wordsworth became poet laureate. That means he became famous in the year 1843, where he was given a certain kind of title. Poet laureate means when a certain title is given, when a rank is given to a poet, that is called poet laureate. So he was known afterwards. He was known to everyone in the world. And his poetic autobiography, The Prelude, that was the name of his autobiography. Okay, so if question comes, what was the autobiography that William Wordsworth published in 1850, then it will be The Prelude. Suppose, just make it reverse. If question comes like The Prelude, when did The Prelude publish? Then you have to write the year. That is, it was published in 1850. So this was about the information given for William Wordsworth. You please go through it once more by yourself. Okay, do by heart reading. From this part, The points that you need to remember are these about Lyrical Ballads, that is the collaboration that William Wordsworth had with Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Alright, don't forget that. Then the definition of poetry according to William Wordsworth. So what does he say about poetry? Then about the poet laureate. When did he become poet laureate? That is in the year 1842. And what was the name of the autobiography that was published in 1850? That is the Prelude. Alright, so about the poet, only this much for now. Only this much is needed for you to know about. So see, in the first chapter, first page, on top, it is given as pre-reading. So before starting the poem, before going through the poem, some just general questions are given here in order to make you familiar with the situation that was going on in this story, in this poem. Alright, see, what are the questions that has been given here? Discuss the following questions with your partner and then share your experiences with the rest of them. These things you are supposed to do in order to develop your speaking skill. Okay, you are supposed to share these topics and discuss with your friends. So the first question is, which is the most beautiful scenery that you have seen in your life? So have you gone through any such kind of experience in your life? Like, is there any beautiful scenery that you've experienced in your life? If yes, then what are the experiences? So this question you need to discuss. If possible, you do one thing, you take this as a topic. Okay, as a diary. You must be familiar with diary entry, how to write a diary. So if possible, try to write diary every day, and you just take topics from here only. Okay, these questions only you pick up and write it by yourself, whatever comes to your mind. So this will automatically develop your writing skill. Okay, your vocab will increase. So that will help you later for final examination also, because if you do not write, it will become a problem later on, because some topics like the question answers, you will memorize it, no problem. The question answers, you will memorize it, you will do by heart reading. But from the writing part, if topic is given to you and you are asked to write some lines on that topic, then it becomes difficult. You will keep on thinking in the examination hall, and the time will just pass by and you will not be able to complete your answer. Okay, so it is very important to write also, not only to understand. As much as you understand, it is necessary, it is bound for you to write that thing also, so that your writing skill gets enhanced. Alright, so please, my dear students, it's just a request to you that if possible, try to write as much as you can. Okay, it will be helpful for you later on. I'm not going to have any kind of benefit out of that. Okay, I'm not having any benefit if I write. Now I have become a teacher, that's a different thing. But for you, I'm saying, okay, if you write, you will develop your vocab, you will develop your writing skill, and overall development will be there in you. So please try to write, okay, the answer. So which is the most beautiful scenery that you have seen in your life? You just think, recall the moments if you have any in your life, and just jot it down. Can you remember each and every detail of the scene? So the questions are just coming up, right, connected with the former part, that if you have seen any, then please describe it in detail, write it in detail. And why is it so special? Why was that scenery so special? Why was that memory so special? Alright, so just cover these 3 questions and write the answer in your note copy. Okay, and whenever the college reopens, I will check your copies. So since the time is almost over and we did not able to start the poem, okay, so whatever we discussed yesterday, you please go through it once. If you have any doubt or difficulty, you please message me in the group. All right, in the English group, not in others group, only in the English group, and we will discuss there. So for today. It's a wind up. Okay, we will continue with this poem in the next class. So thank you very much. Hope you all have a great day ahead. All right, see you in the next class. All right, thank you.